In this video, I'm going to share with you my 6-step blueprint to achieve financial freedom through UK property investment. So that's all coming up. My name is Ranjan Bhattacharya. I've been investing in property for more than 30 years and helping hundreds of property investors achieve financial freedom through property. I host the Baker Street Property Meet, the UK's largest property networking event, where 200 plus property investors meet on the last Wednesday of every month. To join us at our next event, just click here. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe and hit the bell icon, because we release content each and every week on this YouTube channel, and it's all dedicated to helping you be a more successful property entrepreneur. In this video, as I said, it's my 6-step blueprint to achieve financial freedom through UK property investment. And at the end of this video, I've got to dash off actually. I've got to dash off to pick up a new motor. And if you want to see what we're getting, stay tuned to the end and all will be revealed. Being financially free means that you're generating enough income to live your desired lifestyle from income producing assets which are managed as passively as possible. The key phrases I want you to focus on are desired lifestyle. What income do you actually need to live your desired lifestyle? Owning income producing assets and managing them as passively as possible. Those 3 key phrases are the key ingredients, if you like, of getting this game right. Know your reason why. Why do you want financial freedom? And more specifically, why do you want to do it through property? I meet loads of people who come to Baker Street and they say to me, look, I hate my job, I hate what I'm doing, I don't have any control in my life and I want financial freedom. It's not that they are wanting to do property, it's that they are escaping or running from not doing something else. And that's really the wrong way to do it. The people that make it in property are ones who are passionate about it, who love it, who want to do it. So property needs to be something that floats your boat. The great thing about property is that real estate in general is the #1 source of wealth creation practically anywhere in the world. The thing is with real estate and property is there's so many things you can do in real estate and property that you should be able to find one element in there or more that will float your boat. With me, for example, I like finding the deals, I like figuring out how to finance them, how to structure the deals with JV partners, how to decide and put in plans for making significant development, improvement and gain on them. What I'm not particularly fond of is project managing build projects or managing rental property or stuff like that. So property is such a vast field. You can find something that floats your boat and then find other people to help you with the stuff that you need to do that doesn't necessarily float your boat. And that's really the key. So you're going to be successful in property and it'll give you financial freedom if you have passion for it, you want it, because it will take work to get there. But here's the thing, if you enjoy it, it'll be fun and you will definitely get there. Step 2 is know and understand what your financial freedom number is. And by that, I mean, what is the amount of money you need to generate each month to live your lifestyle. Now, you will have your desired lifestyle and you're not going to achieve that income number in year 1. So I say break it down. Have your ultimate desired income number, if you like, as a 3-year horizon goal, and set yourself intermediate targets for end of year 1, end of year 2, end of year 3. And make sure as you achieve those targets each year, you are doing so acquiring income producing assets which are as passive as possible to keep and maintain, because that will ultimately determine how scalable your model is. Step 3 in your financial freedom blueprint is to build your financial freedom number in the most scalable and passive way possible. Guess what? A lot of people, I feel, start their journey to financial freedom in the wrong way. They don't start it in the way they mean to proceed. What I mean by that is, it's actually pretty easy to generate a couple of £1,000 per month. You can get a rent-to-rent property from a tired landlord, sublet it as rooms, and you can generate a couple of £1,000 with 2 or 3 deals like that. The problem is, it's not that scalable and it ain't that passive. Step 4 is to remember that you have to put in a little bit of upfront work in each project you do, but after that it should be passive. Let me give you an example of that. When we convert a building like this into some other use, the work is upfront. The work is upfront in managing that, in purchasing the property, in structuring the finance of it, in organising the works and planning permissions and managing the project and that kind of thing. Once it is finished, let and refinanced, from that point on, it should be completely passive. So all the work you do, all the activity you do is focused on acquiring the asset, identifying the asset, acquiring the asset, figuring out what to do with it, managing it to get to a stage where it's income producing, and then pretty much from that point it's hands off and passive. So the activity you do is all at the upfront bit of an asset. A great example of ultimate passive income in non-property space is George Michael. George Michael with his Christmas hit, Last Christmas. George recorded that song in the 80s, and every single Christmas that is played on radio stations and in shopping centres and bars and places like that, worldwide. To this day, his estate receives about £30 million every Easter in royalties from the previous Christmas, all the plays that it's had everywhere. All the work George Michael did was in the initial recording, the writing of that song and the cutting the disc and all of that. After that, it was all passive. In fact, I guess in George's case, maybe he had too much passive income, which kept him in the white stuff for so long. But that's another story. When you're doing property deals, think of Last Christmas. Make sure you put in all the work in the initial stages. Once it is income producing, then it needs to be passive all the way. The reason for that is because that frees up your time. The best use of your time is in finding, acquiring, financing, structuring, dealing with private investors, figuring out what to do with property, getting them to the state of them being income producing. Those are the activities which give you the maximum payback on your time. After that, the management thereafter must be as passive as possible. Set your end game, your end goal, your end financial freedom number high, so that you can live the lifestyle that you truly desire. That must be the ultimate aim of why you are getting involved in property. Before I got into property, I used to be a management consultant. I used to wear sort of sharp suits and go into mirrored glass buildings in the city and doing all that sort of stuff. It wasn't a job I hated. I loved my job. It was great fun. It was well paying and all of that. And what that means is that when you want to do something else, you have some golden handcuffs, if you like. A nice corporate career gives you some golden handcuffs. You don't really want to leave it. If you want to do something else, it has to be significantly better than what you had previously. And what that automatically does is it sets your bar of what you want to do in property much higher. Now, when I run my courses and mentoring programs, I work with a lot of people who are in professional careers. They're GPs, they're dentists, they're lawyers, they're bankers, they're accountants. I work with a lot of people who have sold highly profitable businesses and are looking to get into property. Now, those people share some common aims with me, and it's one of the reasons they come to me for mentoring and advice and coaching and all the rest of it, is because their bar is high. They are leaving something that they love doing, that produced a pretty good income, and they don't want to do something that doesn't produce the same, if not more, income, and does it in a way that involves more hard work than the profession that they just left or are planning to leave, if that makes sense to you guys. So one thing that my background and my kind of journey in property made me realize is that to do something else, you have to set the bar quite high. And if you actually start with that aim in mind, to set the bar high for your property journey, guess what? You actually end up with much more of a chance of achieving it. I meet too many people in property who set their bar too low. They end up meeting it, but they end up meeting it, achieving financial freedom, but not achieving time freedom. They've ended up creating another job for themselves, a full-time job for themselves, and in my view, are busy fools doing stuff that they don't really want to be doing. And for people who are in professional careers, doing that sort of activity simply isn't appealing. So I tend to find that people from those sort of backgrounds, because they set the bar high, and they set the bar high in terms of the work they want to do in property, they start off with the right goals and they start off with the right ambitions, and they tend to achieve the right results. And that's the approach that I share to everyone. Because if you start with the right aims, it doesn't matter what background you're from, you can achieve the same outcomes. Now, step 6. So what strategies am I recommending to my students to achieve financial freedom in 2020 and beyond in the most scalable and in the most passive way to generate long-term wealth? Well, I'm recommending a bunch of different things. Firstly, commercial property buy-to-let. Doing commercial property as a buy-to-let is far easier than residential property because of the management effort is simply far less. And if you know what you're doing in commercial property, a lot of people just don't understand the basics really. And lack of knowledge is usually the reason why people sort of fail. Once you know what you're doing, once you know what to look for, it's easy. In recent times, and I've got some videos on what's happened with residential buy-to-let. Residential buy-to-let has seen a lot of over-regulation, but there has been no regulation in the commercial lettings arena. The fear that people have with commercial property is that basically the internet has changed everything. It's changed the usage of offices, retail spaces, industrial buildings and the like. And what people do not understand is what types of commercial properties are still profitable and produce good long-term passive income. And those are the ones I recommend people go for. I'm also suggesting that you take control of your pension. With a pension, you can actually invest in commercial properties, and you can do that in a very tax-efficient way. You can do that in a way that produces you good tax-efficient income, and you can also do that in a way that builds a legacy for future generations as well. And that's a very efficient thing to do right now. I'm a big fan of property development. And the best game in town in property development is to go for projects where you can exercise permitted development rights. Now, when you want to develop properties, normally you have to go through planning permission. That's vague and uncertain and can take ages. Permitted development rights are rights that the government gives you centrally to allow you to carry out some development activities without the need for planning permission. So that allows you to do things quickly and with some certainty, which is absolutely wonderful. So for example, you can take commercial buildings like this and convert them into residential usage. You can take shops and convert some of those spaces into residential usage. And by doing that, you can add significant value to a property in the short space of time. What I recommend to people is that if you're starting off with some capital to get your property journey quickly, put the capital into a deal. Quickly add significant value to the deal, and then pull that capital out, because as soon as you have added the value, as soon as you have got that property let, you can refinance it and pull out all your capital to basically have another go again. You keep doing that, you build and generate for yourself a whole number of income producing assets, and then you've got your financial freedom number. A lot of what I'm saying might sound a little bit, I don't know, advanced or alien to you, or if you're new to this sort of stuff. But if you're new to this sort of stuff, the key thing is to immerse yourself and surround yourself with people who are doing it, living and breathing it, and also to equip yourself with the knowledge. I know in this video I may have used some terminology that you might not have understood. And I'm producing videos on this, and if you subscribe to our channel, we'll upload every week and we'll educate you more and more about all these sort of concepts. And I've got some links to some videos that we've done in the past. But the key is to get the knowledge. So if you don't understand what I've said, I run a weekend workshop on commercial property investing, so commercial property buy-to-let, commercial property conversions, commercial property developments, and investing in commercial property through pensions. We only run 3 workshops a year. There's a web link at the bottom here and in the comments in the description below. Find out when the next day is and get yourself on that. Come to the Baker Street Property Meet. 200 plus property investors meet every month. Many of those guys are also have been on these workshops and on various mentoring programs that I run, and they can tell you all about what this game is all about. I also run a mastermind program. The mastermind program is where I take a group of committed individuals who are passionate about implementing all the strategies that I've talked about, and I really hold their hand and help them and support them through their first year of making this happen. So the key to getting involved and making this sort of thing happen is to surround yourself with people who are doing this every day, for whom this is their normality. Because when you do that, that becomes your normality. It's as simple as that. So there you have it. That's my 6-point blueprint for financial freedom. And financial freedom is all about living your desired lifestyle. My desired lifestyle, I love my cars. And I've got to go now, actually, because I'm trading in the old banger for something new. So come with me and see what I'm getting.
Yeah! Like that! Huh!
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, hit the bell icon. As soon as we upload, we'll let you know. And enjoy these. They're all dedicated to helping you be more successful in property. Happy investing!